Hello there folks, SeKo Caffeine Craft, smoking on some caffeine, watching some Pro V plays. We got Stelok up against Blackshadow. Never heard of Blackshadow, but it's a TVZ, so automatically I'm gonna love it. And it's on this crazy new map that, well, it's not crazy new, it's crazy, but it's not that new. Really enjoy the games on this, some really exciting, just weird play you get just because of the way all these bases are lined up here. I've actually had some really fun long games, but I see a lot of pro players that don't really want to play long games on this one. The expansions really kind of drive you to be a little bit more aggressive. We'll see what these guys want to do here. There's a TVZ on cross positions on this map. Seen a lot of gold-based strategies come out from players. The difficulty about this gold base doesn't really matter what race you have. It's so hard to be able to mine from it effectively with all the high ground and ability to hit it from behind. So even if you planetary it up with missile turrets, it still finds a way to kind of get beat up. Yes, I do like me some caffeine. I think I was playing a TVZ on this recently, and I essentially just used the map to my advantage. I just expanded towards a Zerg player, played a mech style, slow and methodical. Watched some good games with MMA actually on this map where he likes playing mech as well. Lens for it very effectively just because of all the high grounds and weirdness, including really interesting Reaper play you can do because there's ways to jump up into this base, a lot of different angles, and attack the mineral lines. Like I say, it will be a hatch first out of Blackshadow. Doesn't know where his opponent is. This is a 4-player map. So we'll see. Well, obviously he's not too afraid of anything too weird happening right away. It looks as though Stelok is planning for some sort of add-on to come in here right away. Cleaning bot might get in the way, there we'll find out. But he's getting this gas down, so it looks like it won't be for a Reaper. Maybe it is. Yes, it is for Reaper. So to say, it would be interesting if he skipped that one for the reactor and just got out a couple of Marines faster. Seen some of those faster tech games skipping the Reaper, but it's such a good, scouting tool that there's almost no reason not to do it. Cleaning bot. Looks cute. Zerg side is getting gas as well. Likely wants to be able to get that map control. Big maps like this, getting early Zergling numbers and Zerg speed. Just make it a lot easier for you. If you can shut down the Hellion play early on, and then go into just full map control, you do so well. I really, really like doing that kind of play. Simple Reaper expand. Reactor timing behind this, because we'll be seeing a factory go down pretty quick here from our Terran player Stelok. Couple of Zerglings coming out, couple of Queens. Should be able to deflect this Reaper. The Reaper is going straight cross spawns. This is for a tournament. I think it was Go for SC2. In a lot of tournaments, cross spawns is mandatory. So it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case here. Wait until he gets off of creep before the Reaper really wants to poke around. These couple of Zerglings might actually get some damage and he might snipe one. It's not too big of a deal, but you really don't want to lose any units to this Reaper because you almost know for certain the Reaper is going to get away. Ooh, free drone. Might have to spore this guy. Queen is out. Yes, he does spore it. Quite a bit of damage on the Reaper. We will have to back off. It was just the one Reaper that came out here. Zerg player actually didn't go for any drone scouts. Just going to use that Overlord. We'll see if a couple of Marines can go and actually find it. I don't think he's looking for it right now. Going for this really front wall off here, which I guess you kind of need to do. It's ahead of the rocks, but he shouldn't be in too much trouble with doing that. Spore is cancelled. Morling's out. Speed more than halfway done. Did he get the Reaper? I think he got the Reaper with that. Wow. Lost the Reaper without speed. And the Queen didn't even get it either. A little bit of bad control from Stelok there. It's really unfortunate if you lose that. And that's allowing our Zerg player to just drone up massively here. Actually might lose this Overlord. Let me close. Stelok's not microwing. Oh man, I think there's a little bit more space on this side. Overlord does get out with a couple of hits left. Both command centers are up. It is going to be straight into a Viking to snipe that. Lots of Hellions. He's actually banking up his Hellions. He's not sending them onto the map. Likely knowing that there's a pretty good number of Zerglings out there. Nice snipes here. I like this kind of slight aggression. It's not too crazy. But killing a couple of SCVs for a couple of Zerglings is obviously quite good. Almost got that supply depot as well. Roach Warren going down here before a third hatchery. Might see some pretty heavy aggression out of this. Double gas now. We do have Widow Mines and Medevacs coming out. Double Widow Mine production. So he didn't go that heavy on the Hellion. 6. Need those queens out there to try to deflect. Actually getting himself into a little bit of a risky position being on creep here like this. Looks like he's okay with it though. 5 Hellions still make it through. Loses 1. Needs to keep at least 3 alive there. Focus the weakened one. Does get the weakened one down, but there's still 3 Hellions inside of his base. Nine worker kills for 6 Hellions. This is pretty good. There's a lot to be argued about giving up your map control, but it doesn't look like he was too worried about that anyways. He's just going to mech behind this, and he feels pretty safe and sound. Using the Viking here to try and snipe as many of these spotting overlords as he can. These two are returning home, don't really want to lose it. Now there's no detection in play right now for a Zerg player anywhere. He is going to be busting down those rocks to the third base, but these Widow Mines might get some damage in here. Zerg player's not paying attention. Splits. Loses 3, it looks to that one. Just 1 over there. So pretty good little harass. Did he get out with one of those? That Viking's doing work. Where'd the other Widow Mine go? Didn't lose it, did he? There it is. Can't really see it in there. 3 kills. Roaches will get that one. I think the other one got cleaned up as well. It shot later, so it likely would have gone off another round. Tank in the front, gonna be pretty good. Lots of roaches and speed coming out, which is a good play against the mech. Third command center coming down a little bit late, but wanted to make sure he wasn't gonna die to that roach play, and I agree with that. There's a lot of players you'll see will just die to this roach push because they've gone for the command center as opposed to getting out more units. 1 Banshee coming across, no cloak. Great little thing to deal with the roaches though, very important as part of these kind of mech pushes. A lot of extra damage, and a lot of times a Zerg player doesn't have anything to deal with it right away. Let's see what kind of damage this guy can get in here. There is detection, even though there's no cloak in place. The Zerg player doesn't know that. Lots of queens out there. Very, very late third hatch. Like super, super late. But once again, playing a bit more safe. Doesn't want to die off to anything silly. Handful of roaches with speed are going to come out here and do a bit of patrolling. Terran player is probably not going to be moving out for a while. This is one of those buckle up and just sit back kind of moments. Ooh, Roach is getting a little overzealous there. Lost quite a few of them. This bunker, yeah, will burn down, but that really doesn't matter. There's not even like upgrades for these Marines, so he doesn't care. Banshee is going to chase after those for a little bit. So as a Zerg player, still building a lot of roaches. Interesting choice for me right now, because he's got to imagine that Stelok's not pushing out anytime too soon. He's got to think that there's no panic right now for Stelok to go on the attack. Now's the time he should be really droning up, but it looks with this Nidus Worm here, Blackshadow is not content. Well, he's quite content to be supply blocked huge, but he's not content to just sit back and drone up. You'd see a lot of professional Zergs, they'd see this kind of composition, they'd just go back, expand a couple times, get a ton of economy out and upgrades, and then go for a huge push. Lots of room for a Nidus over here. Big drop in the back, it looks like. Hellbats coming in. They don't have Blue Flame yet. 3 kills, 1 kill. He's actually getting all the larvae with that. Double Banshee over here being a bugger. Just nice multitasking out of Stelok. Up by a lot of supply. Scanning to see what's going on. Killing some creep tumors. Not necessarily the most cost-effective use, but whatever. There is our buddy Nidus. Now he might see that with his guys that just snuck over there. Looks he's not reacting right now. This could do a lot of damage and equalize things up quite a bit for Blackshadow. Let's just see how fast the Terran can respond. Very fast response time here. Banshees and Ravens Could kill the Nidus. I don't know if he really wants to, though. He probably wants to force these roaches to leave. Wow, Seeker missiles. Running underneath. Wow, great pull on the Seeker missile there. Actually hit a lot of Terran units. Triple armory? Well, that's obviously a mistake. That's still kind of funny. Almost gets the command center. That's a big commitment, though. Don't think it was worth it. Pretty all in for Blackshadow. Brings in all of his queens and zerglings here. Thors, tanks, and siege mode. Stelok is just rolling through this. Behind this, he's getting dropped by quad blue flame Hellions. They're just carving through this base. They're actually just about even right now in workers kill count. Unfortunately, Stelok's not paying attention. He probably could have sniped that hatch down. A little bit of focus fire. Zergling's obviously not doing a fantastic job against those, but whatever. Stelok's still in a good spot. Lost a lot of workers in that, but he didn't lose his army. He's got his expansion down and mining quite well. I think he's in a really good spot. I'd be pretty happy if I was in Stelok's spot. Particularly because he knows he's done a lot of damage with these drops and denied mining, and that there isn't more Zerg bases anywhere. Once again, I'd say that it'd probably been better for Blackshadow to have just mega expanded, moved up into some other tech, and then put on pressure. But I've talked to a lot of Zerg players where they get up against this kind of maxed Terran army, they don't really know what to do against it. You know, the Swarm Host Locusts don't seem to get the damage in. You can't really go into Muta because the Thors, and they eventually transition into air, and it costs so much. The things that I like to do if I'm going up against a meching player earlier on is, yeah, you've got to take that huge economy, make a sprinkling of Mutas just to force them to put down a ton of missile turrets and act super defensive and not want to come out. And then you move into something like a really big Swarm Host play, but it's got to be aggressive Swarm Host play, you know, stuff at the front door that's putting on damage. Couple Blue Flame Hellions trying their luck, didn't quite work out. Well, if we look at the units tab, huge lead in workers, not to mention overall supply for our meching Terran player. Sensor Tower in place, going to give him a little bit of indication of what's going on. Stelok sit, he's usually between 180 and 190, you're going to see Terrans feel really comfortable to move out there. I mean, pretty close to maxed. And he's building all the command centers behind this, behind his push. Very smart way to do this here. This is such a killer army to deal with now. And it's already on your front door. At this point, there's almost nothing you can do as a Zerg player. Now he's making Swarm Hosts. There's so many tanks. They're so well upgraded. Plus, point defense drones ready. I don't think these Swarm Hosts are going to be able to do enough here. You can just aim move into this. It doesn't have, people make fun of the aim move, but you got to work really hard to build an army good enough in Terran to just aim move. Hellbat's getting right on top of the roaches. There's the Swarm Host coming out. I don't know if he saw them in time. He did. Gonna try and focus those down as quickly as he can. We'll get all those ones. None in the... Yeah, there's a handful in the main base. Man, this is just getting steamrolled. This... Stelok's making this look really, really easy. And maybe it does look really easy, but, you know, as somebody who's played both late game Terran and late game Zerg, it's not easy to get together this army before the Zerg player. The Zerg player should be maxed at this point as well. Once again, a little bit of an ill-fated Nidus attempt. Like the creativity, but great, solid play from Stelok. SeKo Starcraft, thanks a bit for watching. We'll talk with you later.